common sense gun violence prevention measures. I'm looking forward to having you all hear from community members, leaders, and family members of those we lost, because it is absolutely unacceptable and heartless that Donald Trump and Marco Rubio are here today in the company of these extremists. I'd like to introduce Tina Duncan, Director of Transgender Inclusion with Equality Florida.
Good morning. On behalf of Equality Florida, let me first thank the over 300 citizens who have come out to protest hate, bigotry, and discrimination against the LGBT community. Despite their false rhetoric to the contrary, inside this convention center, national hate groups are gathering to plot the course of their bigotry and discrimination against a community all too often subject to the hateful rhetoric which leads to violence. 2 months ago, 49 LGBTQ Americans and their friends were mercilessly gunned down at Pulse. This convention is an insult to the victims and the families affected by this horrible tragedy. Inside these halls, leaders of hate groups under the cloak of religious conviction are gathering. Hate groups such as the Liberty Council and the American Family Association. And just 2 months after the Pulse nightclub massacre, presidential candidate Donald Trump and Senator Marco Rubio further insult the memory of those fallen by adding to this group. A conference hosted by notorious anti-LGBTQ extremists a few miles from the Pulse shootings is unacceptable and distasteful. This conference, being dubbed Rediscovering God in America, is being hosted by the American Renewal Project, a group whose leader likened gay people to Nazis and called on Christians to risk martyrdom to block gays from being able to marry. And hosted by Anita Staver, the president of the Liberty Council right here in Orlando, who recently tweeted that she would carry a handgun into a bathroom to protect her from people like me. We will no longer allow hate and bigotry to go unchecked, especially in our own backyard. We will honor the victims and families of the Pulse shootings with action and with accountability. We will not accept discrimination in any form against a community that simply wants the right to love who they love and be their true and authentic self. As a nation, we are stronger together. As a society, we are stronger as we embrace our differences. And as a community, we demand that we be treated equally under the law. As a state, we should pass a statewide non-discrimination law as soon as possible. And as a county, as a country, we need to pass common sense gun control. We stand here trying to heal as a community and having to once again face and denounce hatred, violence, and bigotry. Discrimination wrapped in religion is still discrimination. But we are one Orlando. We are Orlando United. Onward, equality.
I'd like to introduce Pastor Bree Taylor from Oasis Fellowship Ministries.
This morning as we gather, I'm reminded shortly after the Pulse massacre how faith leaders across this city, county, came together and identified and recognized the levels and possibilities of culpability in their languages, in their messages, having conversations to state what is clearly given in the scripture. Beloved, let us love one another, for love is of God, and everyone that loveth is born of God and knows God. He that loves not knoweth not God, for God is love. That is our message as faith community, to love, period, to recognize that we must unite to come against messages of discrimination, messages of hate, messages that target marginalized communities such as immigrants, LGBTQ, and Muslims. We are here today to say that we will not join in such hate messages. We will not sit by quietly and not declare the simple truths that love does and love is and love acts in ways that is inclusive, radically inclusive, finding means of unity, finding means to join together. From Oasis Fellowship Ministries, we stand in this community as a church of radical inclusivity that says, for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever really means whosoever. Whosoever, it means wesoever, it means mesoever. We're joined together. Father God, God of creation, God of the universe, the great divine, we come in this place right now to declare that you are the Lord Most High, omnipotent, omniscient, omnipresent. And I simply recall the scripture that you declared, come let us reason together, that we might join together and remember that love is our ultimate goal, that we might come together and declare that when we love, that we are showing forth your very nature and your character. We stand against discrimination. We stand against hate. We stand against violence. We stand against that which separates and which alienates people from common courtesies of life. Thank you for your grace. We thank you for the ability to stand together with different faith, with different individuals to know that united we stand. And we stand for the matter of love. Right in the very place that we are, we know that love trumps all. Thank you for your grace and mercy. Amen.
I'd like to introduce Imam Abdulham Sykes from the Islam Society Leading American Muslims.
Thank you, Hannah. Firstly, I want to pay my respects to the 49 members and allies of the LGBTQ community who were brutally murdered Sunday, June the 12th in the Pulse nightclub massacre. Secondly, I want to make it very clear that Liberty Counsel is an oxymoron. Thomas Jefferson said, rightful liberty is unobstructed action according to our will within limits drawn around us by the equal rights of others. I did not add within the limits of the law, because law is often but the tyrant's will, and also and always so when it violates the rights of the individual. Liberty is the condition of being free of oppressive restrictions and control, and it is the bedrock of religious and American values. Rediscovering God in America is not about hate and bigotry. Rediscovering God in America is not about hate and bigotry. Some of our country's most vehement tyrants and haters are in the convention center today and tomorrow. Matt Staver, Marco Rubio, and Donald Trump's messages of hate and division is the antithesis of Muslim and American values. Voting for haters and tyrants is a betrayal of religious liberty, and it will result in harm to both our nation and the spirits living in our nation. The Quran says there is absolutely no compulsion in religion. Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, said, a Muslim is one in whom you are safe from their tongue and hand. A believer is one in whom you can entrust your life and your property. God says in chapter 49, verse 13 of the Quran, O people, we created you from a single pair of a male and a female and made you into nations, tribes, and various groups, gay, straight, bi, lesbian, trans, queer, whatever. Not that you would despise each other, but that you would identify with each other. Verily, the most honored of you in the sight of God is the one who is most righteous of you. So accepting and affirming diverse people are associated with righteousness. The Prophet's Constitution said, beware, whoever is cruel and hard on a non-Muslim minority or curtails their rights or burdens them with more than they can bear or takes anything from them against their free will, I, Prophet Muhammad, will complain against that person on the day of judgment. I, as an American Muslim, follow the all-accepting and affirming Islam of Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, and completely reject the hatred and intolerance of those who trample upon the rights of others. Thank you, and God bless you all.